Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Huskers in Enemy Territory. Today, we're going to talk about the NCAA March Madness again. I talked about it last week a little bit about some of the upsets. I was going to do some of the major upsets today. In my opinion, the one that notable was Kansas, ranked, seeded number three, and USC as a sixth seed. It was the worst loss in, I believe, Bill Self's tenure as Kansas head coach. They lost 85-51, which is pretty crazy. I was watching it a little bit on my break at work, and the rest of it on the way home in the car. And man, it just seemed like USC was in total control the whole game. It was a little bit close in the first half, it seemed, but in the second half, it just was like all USC. It was pretty impressive to see, considering the tradition and the how Kansas is always put together in terms of getting all the best guys to come and play for that team. But today it didn't matter. USC had their number. I think the length and size, and the fact that I think four guys on that team was able to have double digit scoring, so that really helped. The other game that was kind of blown, kind of out of the water was Oregon, ranked seventh, or their seed anyway, and over Iowa as a two seed. They won 95 to 80. That game, it seemed like Oregon could have pushed it up to, heck, over the 100 mark. I don't know what was. They kind of went into safe mode, it seemed, towards the end of the game. So they were just kind of trying to run out the clock or whatnot, just trying to move on to the Sweet 16, which is not a surprise, but it just seemed like Oregon was definitely the superior team, even though Luka Garza had, I believe, 36 points. And I'm not sure the other guy that played, I think it was Wieskamp or something. He had, I believe, 17 points. So it must have just been where all the rest of the Iowa guys just couldn't get it together and hit any shots. I briefly watched a little bit of the Gonzaga versus Oklahoma game. It seemed like Gonzaga had complete control on that game. They won 87-71. Um, I briefly looked at the UCLA versus Abilene Christian. UCLA, just dominated them the whole time. It was 67-47, so that wasn't really a game I wanted to watch because it just seemed like UCLA was just kicking their butt the whole time. I didn't get a chance to watch Creighton versus Ohio. That was on versus when I think Michigan and LSU was playing, so I was just kind of watching the score a little bit. Obviously, I wanted Creighton to lose that game just because some of those guys that root for Creighton are insufferable. Being a Husker fan, you can only take J-Skers and or just regular Creighton fans so much, you know what I mean? The Michigan versus LSU game was pretty intense, really. Like, I think honestly, it was probably the best game of the night, just for the fact that it was so close for pretty much the entirety of the game. Maybe like 2 or 3 minutes left in the game is kind of when Michigan was able to push their will onto LSU. Um, Overall, it seemed like a pretty good game. We watched a pretty good amount of it on my lunch break, and some of those guys on Michigan look very good. I could really see Michigan probably being in the Final Four. I'm not sure what bracket they're in, but Florida State, Alabama, LSU, Michigan, I think Gonzaga will all probably be in there somehow. I'd have to look at the bracket off the top of my head. I'm not sure who's all in which bracket. So, but those are kind of the top teams in my opinion. I mean, Oregon looked really good, but I just wonder if they're going to be able to like match up if they have to play like USC or like Florida State or even Alabama. Some of those teams just seem like they're pretty good compared to Oregon. Gonzaga, I feel like they're pretty high up there, like as far as being probably one of the best teams in the whole tournament. But I would say best teams right now would probably be Michigan, USC, and Gonzaga would be my top three probably right now. One note to kind of piggyback on as well is like how horrible the Big Ten has played in the tournament. So far, or right now, they only have out of the 7 teams, one team is left, Michigan, and then I can't. Oh yeah, and I think the Big 12 has. Let's see. I don't think the Big 12 has anyone else left, so they're completely out of the tournament. So you have to wonder what some of these experts are talking about when they're like, "Hey, the Big 10 and the Big 12 are like the creme de la creme for college basketball this year," when the majority of the teams now are like the Pac-12, and let's see, and it looks like a couple or one from the ACC, and then one from the SEC in Alabama. So I don't know. You just kind of wonder what some of these guys are talking about when they're saying that the Big Ten and the Big 12 are like the best teams in the whole country. Obviously, there's upsets and whatnot, but you have to wonder what these guys are talking about when all these teams are getting kicked out of the tournament and you're left with the Pac-12. But it's been a fun tournament so far. It's kind of reinvigorated me with the whole basketball thing since I've been kind of down on the whole basketball sport as a whole. So maybe I'll be able to start watching some of these games again. Maybe catch a couple NBA games. I don't know. But right now, I'm pretty happy with what the March Madness is giving us, in terms of tournament play. And I'm hoping for some more good upsets. But overall, I hope Gonzaga wins the whole tournament. It'd be nice to see them finally get a national championship out there in Washington. And this will be the end of my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications. And if you guys want to hear more of my takes on the NCAA tournament, hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what else you would like to see or hear about on my channel. This and don't forget, as always, go Big Red.